Good afternoon, everybody. It is afternoon. It's 12 o'clock. Well, welcome to
that
your
gone?
12 p.m. hour. I don't know where the day has gone. It's absolutely flown by. Huge thank you for joining us right from, of course, 8 a.m. Maybe you've stayed through all the way through those hours. Big thank you as well to Carly and Ali Reeve for that wonderful hour of creativity and indulgence that you've just joined for. Remember to check out your baskets for that hour as well. Don't miss out on any of those goodies. But we have now got our third live hour of an all-time incredible deal that we've never done before here on your Brother ScanNCut machine. It's ridiculous. It's honestly bonkers. It's been amazing to hear from each and every one of you throughout the shows as well. We've been seeing your comments in between shows as well, and it's great to hear your stories, how you got involved within the Brother ScanNCut. Please share yours with us as well. We'd love to hear from you. Let's keep it interactive, and of course, let us know anything you want to know about your ScanNCut. Maybe you're literally just about to purchase, but there's one thing you want to know first. Get that in, and we can get it answered for you. Because, of course, we've got the lovely Mel with us as well.
We have, yeah. So if you sat on the fence, let me push you off.
Yeah, don't get any splinters.
No, don't. I want them.
No. But before we go into the incredible deals that we've got on, of course, your Brother ScanNCut and all your accessories to go with it, because this is your one-stop destination to get it all today in one purchase, I'm going to share with you how to shop with us here at Live Shopping. It's super simple, really easy to do. Of course, every single item that we share with you throughout the show, and of course all of our shows, all have a code against them. So, for example, to get hold of your Brother ScanNCut machine here, your SDX 1200, the code is Shop Machine. So all you have to do is type that code into the comments of the live stream, so the comments revealing underneath the video, type that in there as if you were commenting on a photograph or any other video on social media, and automatically it will pop it into your basket. So if you're joining us on Instagram, the website, or Facebook, you can do that. You can also watch us on YouTube as well, so you can watch the show on YouTube on your television whilst you're shopping on your phone or your tablet on other social platforms. As soon as you've typed those codes in, go straight to your messages after the show and you'll see a link sat inside your messages. Click on the link and it will redirect you directly over to the Highlight Crafts website. Now, when you get there, you can log into your Highlight Crafts account, which then, of course, gets you an additional 10% off your machine and other goodies, and free postage when you spend over £35. You get loads of added benefits and points, all of that sort of stuff, being a Highlight Crafts Club member, and it's free to join. So make sure to do so. It's something you don't want to miss out on, because that means that today, your Brother ScanNCut, which usually retails at a recommended price of £599, so we're talking just almost shy of £600, today we have been able to do an exceptional deal on this. The team have put a cracking deal together.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable, never seen before here from Highlight Crafts. For today, your live shopping show price is just £449.99. But of course, being a club member, which we just mentioned, takes you then down to £404.99. That's at club price for you. So you're saving £194.99. Now those deals, those savings, those exceptional offers are only valid till 8 p.m. this evening. And this is a show exclusive. You can't find this on the website. You won't find it anywhere else. You can only shop for it during our live shows. Now, of course, if you have missed a show, maybe it's 2:30 and you're thinking, I'm going to watch it back, you can still enter those codes and still shop your ScanNCut as long as it is today, 21st of January, up until 8 p.m. Okay, so just want to make sure to get that clear for you, because of course you don't want to miss out. If you gave us a call tomorrow and said, oh, I've just watched a lovely show with Mel on the ScanNCut, please can I have it at that crazy price? Unfortunately, it is. We can't make exceptions on that.
Absolutely not.
Mel, this is amazing.
Oh, do you know what? I never thought I'd stand here and say that, because it's just fabulous. And I know I meet loads of you out and about at shows and contact me with, how can I do this and what do I do with this? And it's great. And you're all, I've so many people still saving up for a ScanNCut. Well, today we're going to save you nearly £200, which is just fabulous, on my favourite machine, which is the SDX 1200. So it comes with everything that you need to get started. So you're going to get 2 mats, your low-tech mat and your standard mat. We're going to talk about that more as we go through the show. You also even get a piece of card.
Yes,
so that you can cut your first project out of it, which
cut.
I think
You've
is just fab. Right, I know. And you also get different blades with this as well. So you get your standard blade here, which is for everything from vellum, parchment, mylar, grey board, denim, leather, oilcloth, all those different materials that we can cut. Obviously paper and card. That's, we do that without even thinking about it. So that's your regular blade. They're both auto blades, which means that instead of you setting the pressure and the blade depth it automatically does it for you. You then have a fabric blade. Now, we cut fabric in the previous hour. It is phenomenal on fabric. So if you're a quilter or you like your applique, this machine is absolutely going to save you a fortune in dyes and time, because this does all the boring bit while you do all the fun bit, which is brilliant. You also then get a pen holder that has 6 water-based pens. You have a water-soluble pen and an air erasable pen for fabric. So if you do want to do a quilt block, and I'll show you this actually, this won't remind me, quilt
I've
block.
not seen that before.
You're going to select the block, set it to the size you want it to be when it's stitched. It then breaks all the pieces down, shows you where they go, allocates the correct amount of pieces for you, so you don't even need to think how many you need to set. And then in your settings, there is an option to set a seam allowance at 1/4 of an inch. So you can scan your fabric in, draw the shape so you've got a sew line, then it will cut it out with a 1/4 inch seam allowance for you. So all that boring bit, that hard work bit of quilting, if you love it, brilliant. Carry on doing it with your rulers and your rotary blade. If that's the bit that you struggle with, this machine is going to do it for you. Inside this machine's memory, there is 1,303 pre-installed shapes, images, icons, sentiments. All resizable, a minimum of 150 different sizes for each one.
That's amazing. Wow.
You're into the hundreds of thousands of pounds if you're looking at dies for this.
Oh, and the rest.
Right. You've also got 17 full fonts, so uppercase, lowercase, numbers and punctuation. Again, all resizable, and you can weld them together to make welded words and welded cards and shape cards and all that kind of thing. And then also you've got your 100 quilt blocks in there. Now, if you're not a quilter, you're not missing out, because you can use them for paper piecing.
Of
right?
course, yeah.
Because the accuracy of a straight blade means that it's going to line up perfectly. Also built into this machine, and this is unique in the digital cutting market, it has a 300 DPI Brother scanner built in. I'm going to show you another reason why you need a scanner in a cutting machine. We've already done stamping, we've done scanning in a die cut. I've just literally, in between shows, scanned in some documents that I needed to send back to somebody. I'm not going to see them before Friday, and they need them today. Scanned it in, scanned to USB, attached them to an email, sent it back.
How cool is that?
I know, it's brilliant. Because when you scan to USB for your photographs, maybe your scrapbooker, and you save those onto a USB or into the machine's memory, you've then got 600 DPI. I'm going to say USB for that, not the machine's memory, USB, because it won't open a JPEG, which is what it creates. So loads and loads and loads of opportunities. You get full colour touchscreen technology, you get a stylus that you can use with it. And it's just, I can't recommend this machine highly enough. It's 9 years ago to this month that we launched this machine at CHA in Anaheim, me and Leonie.
Oh, right, yeah.
Absolutely. And my word, the technology's come on since then. And the fact that now you have an auto blade technology. Now, so there's some machines out there that go, yeah, we have auto blade. It's a drop-down menu. So you need to know what they mean by lightweight paper, lightweight card, heavyweight card. You need to know what they're talking about. This is a true auto blade. So it goes along, it reads the depth. It then goes onto the product, reads that, and then it calculates automatically how many times it needs to cut it. It's absolutely phenomenal. So it sets its own pressure and its own blade depth, so you don't need to learn that bit, which is super exciting. Wow. Honestly, the deal today, I know we're not going to repeat. It's not going to stay on. It's not on our website. It's not going to stay on after 8 o'clock today. We can't bring you this every day, all day. So crafter to crafter, if you want this machine, please check out your baskets. You've got till 8 o'clock, okay? But don't, if you definitely want one, just check it out after the show. That's all we need you to do, because then what we do is we collate those orders. We then send an order to Brother, because we don't stock the amount of machines that we've sold this morning, because we're just keeping them warm, as Carl would say, which makes me smile. So we collect those orders, send them to Brother. Brother are really good at getting them out fast, and they send them to us, and then we ship directly to you. And you know what our shipping's like, our delivery's like, and our customer service is exceptional. Yeah. So all of the plus points, brilliant price, great opportunity. Spread the word. If you know somebody that's been thinking about one, this is the day to get there. But please, 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 please don't miss out on this deal. And don't forget to check out your basket, because tomorrow, this is gone. Well, 1 minute past 8, this is gone.
That's it. Of course, you will not be able to get hold of it after that time period. That is the cut-off. Of course, if you know someone, as you said, that's been wanting one of these machines, maybe you knew that someone wanted one maybe for Christmas this year. Maybe that's going to be what they are working towards. Let them know this could be an opportunity for them to get hold of it whilst it's at a never-seen-before price.
Absolutely.
It's a rarity here at Highlight Crafts and Live Shopping that we are able to share these offers with you, but now that we're in a position to be able to, take advantage of it. Absolutely. And as Mel was saying, we are one of the official UK distributors of Brother products. So it comes from them to us to you. So the sooner you check out, the sooner that process comes into action.
Yes.
They are notified, it comes to us, and then of course it goes straight directly to you. It is fabulous. Now, of course, to get hold of this machine, you can see on this display here everything that you're getting within your bundle. It is shop machine. Today, it's just £404.99 whilst you check out as a Highlight Crafts Club member. This machine is recommended to retail at just shy of £1 of £600.
Right.
That's amazing value for money. It's unheard of. And as Mel, you've been saying, you've been working with the ScanNCut now, really on an incredible journey spanning over 9 years.
Amazing.
The first time we've done this deal for you.
It's been the best 9 years of my journey.
Yeah.
Because I've loved it. On my whole crafting journey, this is my favourite piece of equipment that I've ever used. And you almost don't get to the end of it. And then when you think you have, you go into Canvas Workspace and this whole universe opens up. We also just want to let you know that we have 13 hours worth of free education on YouTube.
Yes.
We did it for the SDX, but we also did it for CM users too, because without you guys, this machine wouldn't exist.
Absolutely. It's an industry that's been built, of course, on the rapport of yourselves as crafters, working with machines in what you want more so from the machine, and of course the way it's been developed. So definitely check out that education. It's for free. It's, it's fundamental and crucial into your journey with the ScanNCut.
Yeah, absolutely. And also on the 3rd of February at 3 o'clock, we're going to do a Facebook Live called Your First Hour with ScanNCut. Now, I'm not going to pretend that it's going to be an hour because it'll probably go on a bit longer.
I think it
will.
But
it's the basics, and I'm really excited about that because what we don't have time to show you in a show, we can show you on that Facebook Live, and it's very interactive, which is great. So, yeah, if you want a ScanNCut, if you've ever dreamt of having a ScanNCut, this now, and I get it's a considered purchase. However, once you've invested in this, the money that you will save over a year is absolutely extraordinary.
Of course, we've got incredible goodies and additional items we're going to share with you in just a few moments as well. So you're saving £194.99. That can be put towards all of these additional elements. And of course, talking of considered purchases, there is ways on the website to spread the cost. If you want to do PayPal Pay in 3, ClearPay or Klarna, you can choose which option is best suited to yourself to get the best out, of course, your product, and of course to spread the cost to make it even more enjoyable.
Perfect. So, are you going to go and be our lovely family? Welcome to the family, can I just say?
Absolutely.
Are you going to be the personal shopper now, David?
I am indeed, because I'm looking at every single thing on here and realising that every single thing is essential. Of course it is. This show has been put together to provide you not only with a fabulous offer of your machine, but to get you all the additives that then create the perfect recipe to be able to create fabulous projects with your ScanNCut. I'm going to go to this one first because Mel actually opened our show this morning using one of these. It was fabulous. And I remember you can go back to any of the shows after this one and have a little look around in between. This one here for you is your scanning mat for your Brother ScanNCut, okay? And it's Shop DX Scan. This one here is just £23.30 for you. And of course, being a club member, whilst you're checking out, you are going to only pay £20.97 for this one. So of course, it's got a pure, brilliant white background for you to scan in your own drawings, scan in your die cuts. Of course, just make sure that the dies from the supply that you're using, you're able to scan them in and resize them, etc., and make and sell. But of course, you can do that with all of them here at Highlight Crafts. It is brilliant. Of course, this isn't a cutting mat, it's purely for scanning in. You can't physically cut on it. The machine won't let you to do it. It has actually a barcode on it that reads it. It's brilliant. So that one there for you is Shop DX Scan. We've also got Shop Scraper. This here is your Brother ScanNCut scraper. Of course, you can use this across the board with all of your ScanNCut machines and all of your tack mats as well, all of your cutting mats. This one here for you is Shop Scraper. It's £13.49. Again, do bear in mind that extra 10% off. And this is brilliant. Mel was even saying she users want to de-ice a windscreen. Honestly, it's fabulous. The way that it's so ergonomic in its shape, the way that the weight of it, but also the surface coverage that it actually captures on a 12 by 12 or a 12 by 24. It removes any of those fibers, smaller particles that may not be quite so visible to the eye. This will capture it for you, giving you a streamlined cut and efficiency from every single cut that you make. That is an incredible must-have, especially if you're on your ScanNCut voyage today. This is the one to go for. We also have the universal pen holder as well, a fabulous tool, of course, for working with other pens that you have from anywhere in the craft world. And also there's a diagram on the back of here showing an indication of the thickness. Maybe if your pen is in a triangulation form towards the base, you can use a bit of masking or washi tape to actually cushion that so it locks perfectly into place within the pen holder. This is brilliant, and of course there's education that Mel has done that covers utilising these products as well on the Highlight Crafts YouTube channel. And stay tuned, of course, up till 7 p.m. this evening because there's more to come. This here for you is Shop Holder, and this is just £21.47 for your universal pen holder. It says it in the name, it's universal. You can use it across the board with different mediums, different pens, of course, for your fabric covering, of course, as well for your cardstock, sentiment writing. Your favourite pen can now be utilised with your ScanNCut. We've also got for you the cutting mats. Now, we spoke about how important it was to have additional mats alongside your ScanNCut. Maybe one's cutting, maybe you've got a 10, 15, 20-minute cut going on with a project. It's great to have one that you can then lay down your cardstock and get additional projects set to go. And then, of course, you rotate that process. Also, as well, it's great to have one maybe you're retacking, and whilst that's setting, you're going to actually have another to get you going. We've got for you the standard and the low tack mat on here as well. So just going to take you to the standard tack here. Of course, all of your SDX products are indicated with the diamond shape here that actually forms really good as a storage holder. So you can put these on a pegboard. They do have a clear film as well across the top. It's advisable to keep these. It stops dust settling and fibres sticking to them, of course, whilst they're out of use. This one here for you is Shop Matte. It's £24.75 today for you, which is an incredible price for an additional 12 by 12. And of course, we do have your low tack mat as well. So you can see the indication of the two of them goes from your purple here to your teal colour for your low tack. And of course, this one is Shop Low. That's going to be the same price as well of £24.75. You can get that additional 10% saving on top of that price as well when you do check out logged into your account. Now, from your cutting mats, we also have some cardstock. Now, I do want to warn you as well, this selection here of your card, so Shop Card, for £17.99, we have a couple of units left. It's going to go. I can imagine if any of you have already added this to your basket, you're going to want to add a second bundle because, of course, this here is 100 sheets of around about 200 GSM colour weight cardstock. It is beautiful. So you're going to get 20 of each colour, from your luscious red, your bright blue, your vivid green, and that warm orange, and that buttermilk yellow. 12 by 12 coloured core cardstock so it doesn't blunt your blade. That one is Shop Card for you. And then, of course, in here we have got Shop Bright. Now, this one here for you is $14.99. And again, you're going to get 100 sheets, a true variety of A4 in size. And just to share with you there, you can see the interior. Of course, it is coloured card. It gives you a wonderful texture, but the perfect weight for your mats and layers. Not necessarily for construction, but for decoupage, details, and building up a project. That's Shop Bright for you. So you can get the A4, or whilst we've got it, 12 by 12. I know what I'd be doing. I'd be going for my 12 by 12, and I'd get one of these as well for it for my card making, because instant card shapes. Love those colours from Consortium on the show. And just before we go over to Mel as well, because I know this is a really key product on the show, this here is our Shop Foam. Now, you may notice both of these products, but not necessarily see them always paired together. Well, in fact, they make the perfect pairing, because this here is your Pinflair stencil glue, and this here is your Cadence Cut and Use foam. Now, bear in mind what you'd usually pay for these individually. For the pair of them together today, you'd only pay £10.99. Proper treat on this show. Now, this is being used and endorsed and, of course, confirmed by Brother as being a product you can use to retack your Brother ScanNCut mats. It means that your mat once then isn't tacky. You don't have to dispose of it. It's not just a consumable. It's something that stays with you and makes them 50 times, well, last 50 times longer, which is brilliant. You've also got your foam, which you can cut to size. It's washable. The stencil glue washes out of the sponge. You can still use it for your other mediums and paint. Would advise to keep a sponge for glue and a sponge for paint though. But you've got loads to get you going. That there is Shop Foam. There is all sorts here. You want one of everything at least, because These products, it's the perfect place to be for ScanNCut.
Absolutely. And you just sat at your desk and said to me, you know, doing these shows this morning makes me want to really get to grips with the ScanNCut.
Oh, it
because
does.
it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to show you 2 or 3 cards that we've made using this. Now, everything bar the little metal charm and the stamens inside the flower centre has been designed and made from the basic shapes inside the machine's memory. But you have the opportunity to be able to really get to grips with it. And this is more of an advanced project, okay? This is going into Canvas Workspace and splitting shapes and doing all that kind of thing. But this is where you'll get to. I mean, how lovely is that?
I love
Just
that
using
project.
your scraps. This is vinyl that's been cut on the ScanNCut. Now, that's an added accessory. You would need a vinyl blade, and we do shows just dedicated to vinyl. In fact, we've just got some samples of heat transfer vinyl
Stop
delivered.
it. Is that what you were doing? I'm excited to see that.
So you've got all of these, and then look, even so, every single, the leaf, the stem of the leaf, the little rolled flowers,
Yeah.
the little diamond flowers, the circle flowers, the centres of the flowers, all of it has been designed and cut on the ScanNCut.
So not utilising
show
any
you how to do
downloadable
that.
SVGs, it's
Show you how
all
to
within
do
the
that in
frame.
this hour. It's really
I
cool.
can't wait to see
It's really
that.
cool.
I love
All right,
those.
so where do we begin? Now, we've done quite basic demos so far, so I just want to go a little bit further in this hour. Now,
Okay.
I was talking to you before about nesting dies. So nesting squares, for example, right?
Yeah.
So you want a frame for a card. So you put your die on your magnetic sheet and then you put another one inside and you cut it.
I sometimes struggle to get that
Lined up,
centralised.
right. Even harder is if you want to put that on a matte layer where you've got a smaller inside and a larger outside.
Or like a frame on a frame.
Right.
Right, yeah.
That's even harder,
Don't
right?
even go there.
Okay.
Do you know, why is it always off-centred? It's so hard.
Because you don't have a visual of
No.
how to line it up. Right, so with ScanNCut, we're going to make this easy. So I'm burnishing this card. Now, this card is 300 GSM, so it may choose to cut it twice.
Oh.
Trust it. It's like
Okay.
when you first get in a car with a sat-nav, and it's taking you in a different route than you're used to. Trust it, okay?
Yeah,
You'll get there.
you have to.
I said that once. I ended
Well.
up in the middle of a field.
How long did it take you to
Like,
realise you were
up
in
this really narrow lane. Oh, over a cattle grid, like hang on to your teeth.
Oh my
It
goodness.
was interesting. Yeah, that was interesting. Right, so we're going to work with some shapes. So let's go into our patterns. So on your home screen, you've got pattern and scan. So we're going to go just into a basic pattern. We want a basic shape, and you can do this with all the shapes. And I'm just going to select the square, okay? And I'm going to set it on the mat. So let's say we want that to be, let's edit it, let's make it a little bit bigger. So we're editing the object, and this is your resize button. So all you do is click that, and then you set it to the size you want that to be. So let's say set it to 120. Now I want to duplicate that because I need 2. So we're going to press OK because we're finished on the resize screen. And then we're going to go into the next button, which is duplicate. Now all of this is available for you for free on our YouTube channel, because I've done 13 classes. So we're going to click on that. We're going to put number. We're going to put it to 2. And then I'm going to make that smaller. Now, if I want this to be 10 mil wide all the way around, I need to take 20 mil off the size, because I need 10 mil for that side and 10 mil for that side.
Oh, right. So
10
you're
mil for the
accounting for
top
it.
and 10 mil for the bottom. So if we drop the second one down to 100, I know that then that's going to give me a 10 mil frame.
Right, okay.
Right, now, putting this directly in the middle, the small square directly in the middle of the large square is the easiest thing. And you'll find that ScanNCut is repetitive. Whenever you're finished on a screen, there's always a blue button in the bottom that says OK or set. You're going to press OK. Now what we're going to do is we're going to select both shapes and do what they call a line. So you're lining it up in the middle. All right. So one red box means that just one shape is selected. More than one red square means that you're multiple selecting. So you're going to multiple select everything that's on the mat. So you want all of the shapes. If you just wanted a few of them, you'd use that one. But we want this one. And then you press OK because you finished on the screen. Now, directional arrows, if you've got a compass in your hand, you're moving. Right? And
Yeah.
you're moving in a direction.
course.
So to move the shapes, you go to the button that looks like a compass, right? You click on that, and at the top of your screen is your alignment function. So it's your straight line with your 2 rectangles. So if you click on that, you've got options now. Wherever that straight line is, so left, right, top, bottom, centrally vertically, centrally horizontally is where it's going to line it. So we want it centrally vertically, and we also want it centrally horizontally, so it's bang in the middle.
I love that function. That's like the best thing in the world. I can remember when you first showed this me, and all day I was going centrally, horizontally, centrally, vertically. And I just thought, why? This is amazing.
Absolutely.
I wish this tool existed for dies, but I don't need it because I've got it on a ScanNCut.
Honestly, if I had £1 for every time I said multiple select everything on the mat and align it centrally vertically and centrally horizontally, I would be a multi-billionaire by now. Honestly, I've said it that many times. But it's repetitive, and repetition is the mother of all skill. So the more you do something, the more it becomes muscle memory. Don't expect to come and use this once a month and learn it like I learn it. You've got to put the time and the effort in, but it's fun. So what we're going to do now is press OK.
This is gone, by the way,
and
everyone.
Keep pressing OK.
Just to let you know, it's gone.
Okay, if you've missed out on that one, get the A4. I'm going to show you a really cool trick. We're going to go to Edit Object, and this button here that has one red select box around with several shapes inside is Group. So now I've grouped that together, I can move it as one piece. So let's cut this out first. Okay, so let's cut this out of our white card first of all.
Okay.
So we're going to load the mat. I'm going to keep banging on about loading the mat. It's really important that you keep hold of the mat. So there's two little ledges, one there, one there. Your mat is going to slide in between those two ledges. You don't want it like that. You don't want it missing. It goes right in between there like that. These rollers are going to grab that mat and take it in. So if you let it go and that happens, that roller will load it. That one can't grab it anymore because it's moved, and it will twist your mat, and then you've got to buy a new mat.
Do you ever have to clean your rollers at all?
Yes, so occasionally, absolutely, because if you're using lots of bits of card, you can get a little bit of glue on it. So what I do is I take a wet wipe, whatever kind of wet wipe, those wipes that we had on last night.
Oh, the yellow packs, yeah.
Let it go so it's almost dry, and then you're going to put your finger inside that wet wipe, and you're just going to press load and unload without a mat in it.
Oh, so it
and
rotates.
that rotates the rollers, and that's the easiest, best way to clean it.
Brilliant.
Don't use wet, nothing wet, please. This is electrics.
Oh yeah, of course.
You don't want to do
so
that.
Just a very mildly damp wipe.
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to load the mat with this. So load.
Ooh. Oh, it's so fascinating.
Brilliant. Also, keep the back of your mat as clean as the front of your mat, because if you've got a piece of card stuck anywhere under here and it hits that roller, it's going to skew it.
Oh, okay, so don't be putting it on your craft mat where there's bits and bobs and inks and that.
Make sure the back's as clean as the front.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to press OK, and we're going to keep pressing OK until we get to please select. And then it says, do you want to cut it, draw it, emboss it, foil? Yours won't have these on. These are your premium functions. This is when you buy the extra starter kits, okay?
Right.
You don't need to worry about that for now. We're just going to press cut, and we're going to press start. Now, this is where the true auto blade comes in. So now what it's doing is looking. Look, it's sending the blade down, it's looking at it, then sends it to the material, looks at it again. Then watch, it'll drill down now, and then watch, it'll lift slightly. There.
That's amazing. You
Now
can
it's
hear
gonna
it,
cut.
can't you? Ever
Yep.
so slightly measure it.
It's a true auto blade, and I love that because it doesn't matter what. Now look, it's doing it again because it knows to get a nice clean cut without putting too much force on that blade. It wants to cut it again. You can hear it. Listen.
Oh
It's
yeah.
cut through. Right, so we can unload this now.
Ooh.
Right, so this is going to be the top mat layer, all right? Absolutely bang on perfect. Every single one of the width from the inside to the outside edge is accurate all the way around, okay?
That's spot on, it's perfect.
I know, it's brilliant. I love it. It's so clever. Right. I'm so glad Brother did this. I can't tell you. And do you know what? They still don't know how good the machine is.
I know, honestly.
They absolutely
The
still
fact
don't
that
know
you've
what the
done more with
machine
it than
is.
I think they would even imagine is possible. Also, we really want to hear from you. Got some comments coming
Yes,
through. We'll read
please.
those in a few moments. But please let us know when you got your ScanNCut, or if you got your ScanNCut today. But let us know what the first project is that you made. What is the first cut? Can you remember what it was? Or what got you into ScanNCut in? Of course, it was most likely Mel. But what was it that took your eye? What about
Yes.
it was so special to you? Let us know.
What do you use it for? Because
Yeah.
people use it for all different things. We just had a guy come in who's delivered the heat transfer van, and he's like, oh, I've seen lots of videos on this. I'm like, yeah, you need one. It's on a good price today.
watch the show.
I said to Becky, because Becky was like, oh, that's amazing. And she said to me this morning, Becky's on our cameras today, she said, if I wasn't getting married next month, I'd be buying one of these at this price.
I know,
right?
totally get it. My sister-in-law, she's a primary school teacher, and she said we should all have one.
Every college
Everyone.
school in every department should have one of these.
They're brilliant.
They're
absolutely fabulous, not just for craft, but for everyday general use in so many different industries.
Yes. Right, now then, we've pressed OK, because it's finished cutting. We're going to go back, because we've got a little bit of work to do on this now. So we're going to edit it, and the first thing we're going to do is edit the object and ungroup it. Now, when you've ungrouped something, you'll see that both of those shapes are still selected. Tap the screen, that will release the shapes. So what we want to do now is make the inside square smaller and the outside square bigger. And on this machine, on the SDX, you've got this function, and this is what they call offset. So if we click onto this, it brings up this shape, and you can go to a negative offset, which will make the shape smaller, and then a positive offset, which will make it bigger. So for this one, we want to go negative. So let's do a 2mm inward offset line. So it's got a negative, so it's smaller, it's 2mm. Then when you press OK, the original will always stay selected. So all you're going to do with that original one is pop it in the bin, because we don't need that anymore. Then you're going to use your select arrows here. So under the word select, these are the arrows that move that red select box from one shape to another. So now we've gone to the bigger one. Now we're going to go object edit again. We're going to go into that offset again, but this time we're going to make it +2. So if there's no minus there, it's a positive, it's an outward offset. And again, we're going to do exactly the same thing. So we're going to press OK, and we're going to put the original one in the bin and press OK. So now I've got the perfect layer, perfect frame for that white one to sit on top of.
Amazing.
And I don't need to align it anymore, because it hasn't moved the shape. It's just made one smaller and one bigger, and they're still directly in the middle of each other.
Yes, brilliant. And we have loads of comments flooding in as well. It's great to hear from you all. Good afternoon, Fran. Fran says, such great tips. If only I had seen about loading the map before I got mine, I may have saved a few mats. Well, now you know. Now you've got all of the tips in there as well. Sue Turner says, I'm sad. I have the Disney one and not taking it out of the box. I know, slap my hand. Well, get it out of the box. Start crafting.
Yeah, the look.
Mel's giving you the look. She is indeed.
Right, so, Sue, 3 o'clock, 3rd of February, Facebook Live. I want your machine in front of you, please. We're going to get that machine out of the box. And also, go onto YouTube. I've had people all over the world contact me and say, there's no education in my country, I can't get it.
Yeah.
Where do I, and I've watched your videos, got it out the box, and oh my goodness, I wish I'd done it 2 years ago, or whenever they bought it.
You can view it wherever you're from. Adele says as well, I bought it because I saw Mel using it. I was in awe. I couldn't agree more. Absolutely, Adele. It's brilliant.
I'll put the link to the playlist in the comments.
Oh, fabulous.
Awesome.
Fabulous. So Andrew is currently popping the link to the playlist of all the videos on the Highlight Crafts YouTube channel in the comments. As soon as the show's finished, maybe you're going to be waiting for your machine to come, you can have a browse and watch those videos. Watch them in series of each other, because then, of course, it'll all link. Is that it? It's done it that quick. Gosh, don't even get time to blink. You said your speed setting was on 9, didn't you, for this? Yeah, brilliant.
Quicker the speed, the better the cut. Look at that. Absolute perfection, right?
Scrapbook frames.
Look at that.
That is perfect.
I know.
Right down to the millimetre.
Right down to the millimetre. If you line it up straight, obviously. But yeah, look at that, all the way around. Now, doing that with dies is really tricky.
It is very tricky. And do you know what? Sometimes I've wasted so much card.
Absolutely.
Oh, this one's slightly... It's always the one that you cut second.
Yep.
It's slightly off-centre. It's really tricky. And if you try to do them at the same time, you get that score mark and it makes your card all mottled and weird. That is a fabulous, fabulous technique that you just have to try. That could be your first one. All of those details as well that Mel shared with you about centrally, horizontally and vertically. All of that is within the videos as well, so you'll get the experience. You're currently using a piece of RA4, aren't you?
I am, yes. Because I'm going to show you the best way to work with smaller pieces of card and paper. Okay,
so if you want to get hold of this, it is Shop Bright. This here is your Bright selection of A4 cardstock. This one here for you is just $14.99. Of course, in here you're also going to get your 100 sheets of that beautiful warm orange, that buttermilk yellow, that vibrant green, that luscious red that you're going to be using for Valentine's or Mother's Day, no doubt, going forward, and that wonderful aquamarine blue as well. It is a beautiful shade to work with. Look at that. I really hope there's enough for me to get some of these because I've already missed out on the 12 by 12.
So do you not want me to do this amazing demo where it's going to sell out then?
Well, I want you to do it because I want to see.
There's a saying, David, can't have your cake and eat it, kid.
No, you can't, but you can sit and look at it.
Yeah, you can. You can stroke it and sniff it as you walk past.
That's what I'll do.
So the question we get asked all the time is, do I have to use 12 by 12 cardstock? Absolutely not. This is the perfect machine to blitz that scrap box.
Yes.
Right?
This is
so if you've got a sheet like this and you want to cut, I don't know, 15 hearts.
Right.
All right?
Yeah.
But you just want it within here. So let me show you how you do this, and this is really interesting. Also, once you've done frames like this, you can save them. So if you want to do that, you just go back and save, and it will give you the option to save it into the cloud, save it into the machine's memory, or also save it onto a USB. Okay? So we're not going to do that right now, so we're just going to press home and OK. Right, so I want a shape and I want hearts, all right, because Valentine's Day is coming up. So we're going to scroll down until we find the heart, like so. So we're going to scroll down, there's the heart, and I'm going to set it to, because you can set the size on here as well. Now, sometimes on here it will stop at a certain size because it thinks that's the smallest it can do. If it does that, just set it on the mat and make it smaller. Don't go less than 3 mil because it needs a 3 mil turning point. So that means the blade needs to get into the card, rotate, meet itself and lift out. It needs 3 millimeters to do that. Right, I want a lot of these. So if we go to edit and object edit, in our duplicate box, we're just gonna add, let's do 15.
Okay.
All right, so 15 of them. I'm going to press OK and it puts them all in a diagonal like that. Now, can you imagine if you had to grab each one and put them in a line? You don't need to do that. There's something on here called an arrangement function. So I'm going to press OK and I'm going to press OK again. And you come to this box here. So the one that's got the square with all the piddly shapes in them. Now, you've got options. This one will rotate the shapes any which way it needs to get the most out of that piece of cardstock.
Oh, so it's like within that shape it'll,
Yes.
like when we create dies and we say we've put as much within this metal as we can.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The middle one will rotate it up to 180 degrees. So you'll see you've got some triangles with the point facing up and some triangles rotated 180 degrees, so it's pointing down. This one will keep them in a straight line. So it's entirely up to you which one you use.
Yeah, because you might want to use it as a stencil afterwards.
Right. I want to use this one. So I'm going to do that, but look, it's taken it wider than my card. So if I click on this arrow here, this little spanner here, this opens up the toolbox. Wherever there's a spanner, there's something behind it. Now I know that this cut area now, if I click on here, I need to drag this arrow over like that. This is one way of doing it. The other way you can do it is scanning it in so you can see it, but then you still have to move them. So I thought this way was probably a better way. And I'm going to move it up to just about there, like that. So I've got 2 inches in from the left, and I've got 4 inches and a bit up from the bottom. So if I press OK now, and again, and then I use that function again, it's now going to fit them within that piece of card.
Oh, wow.
Because that's the only cut area it knows it's capable of cutting in.
Got it.
Because we've blanked out everything else, it now sees it as this. So now when I do this and load this mat,
These are all of the tips and techniques that come in so handy for all of this. We have had a question as well for while this is cutting.
Yes.
Is if you've registered one of the rhinestone kits on a CM900,
yes.
Can you transfer it to an SDX 1200?
Yes, so apart from the mats, because the mats are different, you can use all your additional premium function kits. So your embossing starter kit, your foiling pen, your rhinestone starter kit, because it's not, because you link it to Canvas Workspace just to get the designs. With this one, all you're going to do, you just pop it in, and on the back of every accessory, so for example on the back of the vinyl blade, has a different barcode.
Right.
And when you put that in, it knows what's in it.
Yeah, so it reads it
absolutely,
instantly.
yes,
Brilliant.
you can.
Oh,
yes.
thank you. That question was from Helen, so
yes,
thank you, Helen. It's great to hear from you. I hope that clears that up for you.
So now all we do is press OK. Please select, cut, and start.
Fabulous.
Now this is a lighter weight paper.
Yes.
So we've gone from 300 to 200. So now it's going to look at it again. So it's looking there.
Oh, I
Then
absolutely
it moves.
love
It
this.
looks here. Then it'll adjust itself. Oh, isn't that cool? I love it. One thing you need to make sure of is that your mat is tacky at the top. because if you've got a slight air bubble and that's where it reads it, it's going to think it's deeper than it is.
Oh,
And now it's just
okay.
going to cut. And it cuts in a random order, it cuts in whatever order it decides to. But you're now crafting, right?
Yes, this is it. I'm seeing so many comments come through
Are
that. Mel,
you?
you're going to have to go back and read some of these because
Okay.
they are absolutely brilliant. There is loads coming in. Kathy Fortune, good
Hi,
afternoon,
Kathy.
Kathy. Bought my CM700 when it first came out.
Yep.
First things I cut were my Mylar stencils for my son to paint letters and numbers on the floor of stairways in a tower of flats he was working on.
Wow.
Wow.
Right?
He paid for extra deep cut blades and standard blades for me, and I'm still using them today.
Absolutely.
Amazing, Janie. Thank you so much. It is honestly fabulous. There is so many of you talking amongst yourselves as well in the comments.
I love
can
that.
see so many coming through. And it's brilliant to hear all your stories. We've got Jacqueline says, I made a small box using Cutting Craftorium back in the day. I was so chuffed with myself, and I look at it now and I see how far I've come. I'm not in Mel's league by any means. Absolutely, you can be.
Oh, you can. Honestly, it's so... Stephanie has the ability, in fact, most of the people that work here in Creative have the ability to close their eyes and see colour and pictures. I don't have that. I close my eyes, it's black. There's no colour, there's no pictures. So I don't have that, what we call a mind's eye. So I can't, if I came in here, if somebody said to me, what does your studio look like? I wouldn't be able to see it to tell them, right?
Okay.
But I can look at something and break it into shapes like that. And that's natural to me. It's the engineering gene that I've got. So making things like you can see at the back here behind David, these three-dimensional projects, for me, comes as second nature. And what I do is, because I really want you to come on this journey with me and I want you to get every little last bit of inspiration out of your scan and cut, I teach you how to do things like this. And it's that journey. So if you ever see us with like little downloads, Mel's class, there was a Octagon box on the other week.
Oh, yeah, I
Get the
remember.
class. Because it's not about making the box, it's about what you learn on that journey. And I'm that person that goes, right, I want to share all this information.
Yeah.
Let me just do it. I mean, I had to come in here and spend a week just doing hour after hour after hour on this with it because I'm so passionate about this machine. I'm not paid from Brother. I'm not paid as an influencer or anything like that. I'm not associated. I was just in the right place at the right time. Honestly, I love it. So we're going to unload now. And there are your 15
Look at
hearts, all
those.
cut out of a smaller piece of card.
And the same blade, the same
Same
everything.
thing.
It just
No
automatically
messing.
cut. Stephanie Best has just
Hi,
asked as
Stephanie.
well. She says this is she says this is a daft question. It's not a daft
No,
question
right.
because I want to ask it too.
There's no such thing as a silly question. If you don't know the answer, you don't know the answer.
Absolutely. So, can you please tell me why you need an extra blade for Mylar or grey board, please, or why you would need additional blades?
Okay, so for grey board, it's going to put more pressure on that blade. So I'd just like to keep a separate one because if you're doing quite fine detail, you want that blade to be super sharp.
Okay.
And cutting into something like grey board, which could have a chalky component in it, and also it's a bit more fibrous, I just like to keep a spare blade. You don't have to. If you don't want to, it's not a rule. It's not the law. No one's going to come around and knock on your door and go, you used that blade 10 minutes
You won't
ago.
have Mel at the door.
No,
like,
you won't
"Excuse
have
me."
any of that. Mylar is a plastic, so Mylar doesn't have any fibres to break, so it's a firmer cut. So it's forcing that blade through plastic that isn't easy to tear. And when I talk about is a product easy to cut, the easier it is to cut depends on how easy it is to tear.
Yeah.
So it's a harder, more firm plastic than it is a fibrous card. So I just like to keep a separate one just because it makes my blade that I'm using for my card last longer.
You're going to
But
say
you don't have
that's
to.
it.
All right, it's your choice. It's just something that I prefer to do. By all means, use the same blade for everything. You might just change it a little bit more often.
Yeah, because you
It's up
said
to
that using
honestly.
that method of interchangeability allowed you then to get up to 6 months from your blades
Absolutely.
before you then started to notice a difference in
Yep.
efficiency, which is, of course, a great tip to have. You can stock up on your blades as well.
Should we make a shape card?
Go make a shape card. Keep your comments coming in. Let us know, of course. Today is your fabulous 1 day up until 8 p.m. deal to be able to get this amazing Brother ScanNCut machine. Just a reminder as well for you, it is shop machine to get hold of your Brother ScanNCut, which should be retailing at £599. Today's show price is £449.99, but we're bringing that right down because as a club member, for you, it is just £404.99, giving you a crazy saving of £194.99. The 99p counts. but make sure to log in before you check out to get that price.
Lovely. All right, so I've just pressed home and OK. That's brought me back to my home screen. I'm going to go into my spanner here, and there's all sorts behind this spanner. Again, I go through every single one of them in that education. My cut area, to change it back, you just drag that arrow out. If you ever end up with a screen that's got a line down there, it's because you haven't taken your expanding arrows back to their starting point. So I have quite a few people sometimes say, oh, I've got this grey area. I'm like, yeah, that's because you haven't expanded it back out fully enough. So it should be 298 by 296. So I'm going to press OK now, and we're going to go into our pattern. So let's do a scallop circle.
Yeah.
So into your basic shapes, scroll down, and we'll find our scallop circle, which is, let's choose this one. Let's make it a little bit bigger, and let's ask it to do 2. So you can set it there as well if that's what you want to do. Then all I'm going to do is click on one. I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to use that compass again, but this time I'm just going to nudge that over there, and you're just going to keep nudging like that until you're happy with the overlap that you've got there. Okay, now I want 3 of these because the thing that annoys me about shape cards is the spine.
Okay, right.
Because you don't get that scallop continuing on the spine. Drives me
no.
crazy. So while I've got that there, I'm going to go into editing the object again, and I'm going to duplicate it for a second time. So I'm going to move one of these down here because that's going to be the bit that covers up the workings. So we're going to weld or digitally glue 2 of these pieces together. Now when you're welding, you have to overlap the shapes. It's like trying to sew 2 pieces of fabric together. You can't sew them when they're apart like that. They have to overlap to be able to sew them. So if we select one of the ones that we're going to work with, and we're going to press OK. Now remember when we multiple selected before, we're going to do it again. So we multiple select part of the mat this time because we don't want that shape included in the welding. So we go to part of the mat, and then we drag the arrow, and it can just be over the slightest part of that scallop circle at the bottom. It now can't see the shape because it's not a full shape anymore.
Yeah.
And then we're going to press OK. And again, so it's highlighted both of those. We're going to go into edit, object edit, and next to the group, it looks like a keyhole, or as Martin said, Pingu, and now I can't unsee it because it does look like Pingu.
It
right,
does look like
and now I can't
Pingu.
unsee it. That is a circle with a triangle overlapped, and that's weld. So when you click on that, it'll say, OK to weld the pattern outline. Once you've welded it, it's irreversible. So make sure that you're happy with it, and then you just press OK. And then we've got our other piece that's going to go over there. So that's going to be your card shape. That's going to be the piece that overlays. And we go further. You can do your own aperture cards in here, and it's understanding, because I've used it so much,
Yeah.
I understand what it needs now to be, and what it sees and how it thinks. And that's the stage that you'll get to, because I'll take you there, which is fabulous.
That's it. It's that in-depth analysis of how the machine works. It takes you
Absolutely.
to this level, and it is capable for each and every one of you. As well, we have had a lovely question in from lovely Helen.
Hi, Helen.
Good afternoon, Helen. Question, are the blades the same for the CM and the SDX?
No.
Just trying to see what I have and still use and what I might need to replace.
No, absolutely not. So these are an auto blade. So the blades are completely different
Yeah.
to your CM blade. You can put your CM blade into here and it will recognise it, but it doesn't make it an auto blade.
Okay.
All right.
So you're technically sort of like not using the auto process, it's using the CM
it doesn't.
process.
It can't do that because it's not registered to be able. It's just the machine doesn't recognise it as an auto blade, so it won't do that. But mats you need differently. Your blades are different. Everything else will work in conjunction
It's a
with.
dream. You don't have to check the depth. It does it for you.
I know, it's brilliant.
It's just bliss. Like that part of
Absolutely.
the equation is completely taken out. And a few times in the CM's a cracking machine.
Oh, it's brilliant.
It's fabulous in what it does. But I can remember when I first started working with it, I'd always notch it up a little bit, but a little bit more, a little bit more. Then I got too much. This here is perfect.
It takes away the fear of cutting through your mat as well.
It does. It really, really does. That is all gone. All gone.
So
You're
now
left
it
with
looks at the top, then it goes down. It's looking at the card level, decides how many times it needs to cut it, sets its blade depth. That's what it's doing now. Look, it'll lift slightly, and then it starts to cut. But it's quiet.
It's so quiet.
Now, when I used to do shows on Create and Craft, and the presenter would go over to the pack shot, the display, and talk to you about the product, I couldn't hear what they were saying with the CM.
No.
With this one, I have to keep doing that to make sure it's still cutting, because actually it's not silent by any stretch of the imagination, but it's very, very quiet.
Very
so
quiet.
if I'm sat here and then there's another one of these there, and then the ScanNCut's there, I have to do that to see if it's cutting. It's really quiet. So if you are somebody that struggles with sleep and you craft in the middle of the night, this isn't going to wake the rest of the household up. Or even if if you're on the dining table and the dining table's a part of your lounge, then somebody could watch television quite easily without this disturbing it.
Exactly, it is brilliant. Also as well, remember to shop foam, which is a fabulous product. I'm going to leave that one there for you. So have a look at this. It is $10.99 for you. It gets you your pin flare stencil glue and your Cadence cut and use foam pad. It's a fabulous addition.
So there's your card shape and there's your matte layer. And the two will line up perfectly. So there you go. So it covers up the edge of that spine, which drives me crazy. I don't like that.
Oh, it does.
Right? So that's your card shape, two welded together, and then that's the piece that goes over the top.
Brilliant. Look at that.
I even teach you how to score with your blade.
Score with your blade. All of these tips and techniques, of course, what I've loved as well about today, and I've like really sort of learned from the beginning with all of you at home as well today, because this show really has been put together, it's been formulated for each and every one of you as brand new ScanNCut users to have, of course, that beginning of the journey moment. Also as well, a refresher for anyone that maybe hasn't used it in a while or maybe hasn't got it out of the box yet. This is your opportunity to do so. It's a great place to be. So massive thank you, Mel, for really taking us to the fundamental parts of your Brother ScanNCut journey. And you know what? This is just the beginning for you. I'm
absolutely passionate about this machine. I can't imagine now crafting without it. It's one of those things that if somebody took it off me, I'd just cry for a month, I think. I love it.
Is that all a month?
I love it.
I don't think that.
Right, I thought we'd quickly show you how to retack your mat.
Oh, yes, please.
We've got a couple of minutes.
Absolutely, yes,
right,
please.
So poly bag, cellar bag, a little bit of stent now. I just do that.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Okay, that's enough.
Finished.
To retack your mat, okay? Get a piece of your cut and use. Remember, this is washable. You're going to pounce it on a plastic bag.
Okay.
All right, and you're going to get a nice thin layer.
Okay.
Like that.
So
okay.
You're just picking it up. Oh, right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. See.
So I've got a mask of an old mat. If you haven't got one of these, please don't put masking tape down the sides because it has a tacky residue. Just put a piece of card there and work within the parameters. You need to go within this black square here. So you're going to start at one edge, making sure that you go right to the top, and you're just going to press that down like that, and you're going to work methodically. Don't do this because then you won't know where you've been.
Yeah, of course.
Right? We don't want that. Turn your foam round, and then you just literally just going to pounce it methodically right the way across. So do half of it first. Do the top half first.
Yeah.
Making sure you get right to that top edge. Pick up some more glue, and then do your bottom. Your bottom part, all right, just like that. Super, super easy. There's a video. You don't need to remember anything that I'm teaching you today within these live shows. The one thing that I do need you to do, though, if you want this machine at the best price we've ever brought it to you, and this is not on our website, it's not going to stay. You need to check your baskets out before 8 o'clock tonight. Otherwise, ring us up tomorrow morning or even message me tonight at 8:10 and I'll be like, sorry, can't do it. And then all I'm doing is very gently just swiping it down because you want it nice and smooth.
I was going to say, with you pouncing it, that distributes and that
puts the glue down. This then just spreads it thin. And you'll see there's a very slight sheen to it. You'll be able to see where you've gone and where you haven't. So just do this, and if you've missed any bits like I have there, just go in and do that. That will retack that mat, and you should be able to put your hand on it and do that.
Right. And how long do we leave it before we can put card on?
Leave it 10 minutes at least.
10 minutes at least.
So the great thing about this glue is it's very clever. If I put this on my finger now, it's not sticky.
Oh, right.
As soon as it gets exposed to the air, it starts to tack. So
That's
you need to
quick.
leave it, and it starts to go tacky. Good 10 minutes, and then you'll be able to pick that mat up with your hand.
That's brilliant. And that's going to give you, of course, additional use.
Yeah.
As Mel said, 50 times longer use out of your mat. At least, of course. You take care to, of course. And did we mention we need to wash our mats before?
So if you've got lots of fibres on, rather than going in like this with your scraper and trying to get them off, run it under the tap.
Yeah.
Let that water penetrate into those fibres, then scrape it off. Leave it to air dry. Don't do it with a tea towel.
Oh, no.
I once had a lady that did it with a tea towel.
It ended up like a sheep.
I know, and me and her were crying, laughing about it. And then leave it to air dry and then retack it.
Honestly, this has been an amazing show. Do remember as well to check out all those additional accessories that we have for you alongside your Brother ScanNCut products. We only have 43 seconds left of the show, but we've got, of course, this evening to look forward
6
to
o'clock.
as well.
Now, we do have Wibblers on tonight as well on deals. So we've got dies
Oh.
and SVG files. I'm going to show you how to cut out a reflection on your ScanNCut, because now we've got new customers, we've got new Brother users. So now I can really take it into the world of SVG files, which is super exciting. And it's me and you.
It's me and they.
Oh, lovely. So we're staying
Absolutely.
together. So we do have something for die cutters as well, but we're gonna carry on with this at the same time, which is super exciting.
Brilliant. Right, okay, everybody, this is your point to check out your baskets. Go
Cheers.
straight to your messages after the show, click on the link, log in and check out. Don't go anywhere. Ali Reeve is just through that wall. We'll see you in a few minutes.